Welcome back inside Golf Talk Canada. We are here at Coppinwood, Mark, one of the best practice facilities the country has to offer. Currently going through a renovation, but this practice facility is awesome. Now, a couple of weeks ago on radio, we got into quite the conversation about Scottie Scheffler. Now, we've talked about Scottie Scheffler for the last couple of years, the brilliance, the historic run he's been on, but there are a couple things that you noticed other than the footwork that can help any golfer watching this video. Let's get into it.
So what happens, Skulls, is if I have time on my hands, that can be a real problem, right? Because
fair.
So I said, why is this guy so much better than everybody else?
Yeah.
Like statistically speaking, the numbers are off the charts, right? From a ball striking category. He's the only guy we've seen since Tiger Woods can go out and win a PGA Tour event without his A game because his ball striking is so superior.
Right.
So I started picking away at it. And there's a lot we could get into here. We could do an hour, 2 hours. Obviously, we're not going to do that. I found 4 real key elements that I really wanted to talk about because, for one, not a lot of people are doing them in the modern game, and that's key. Modern game. People have, gone down all these different avenues in recent years that we can talk a little bit about.
Right.
That he's not doing. And what I really love about Scotty, and you and I talk about this all the time, he owns it, right?
Oh,
the answers are in the dirt. It's his golf swing. So there's 4 key elements. Let's start with the first one.
Okay.
And there used to be a wonderful golf coach, Jim Flick. He worked with Jack Nicklaus. And Jim Flick always used to talk about the hands and the golf swing and how the hands relate to the golf swing. And in the modern game, we never hear people talk about the hands anymore. We talk about these large movements and all these moving parts, but the hands are the only thing that connects you really to the face of that golf club. And face control is key. Like if you can't control the face, you're going to have a super wide dispersion. And at your speed,
kind of sounds like me.
Well, and at swinging it at 180 mile per hour ball speed, that's a scary proposition. So the first thing Scotty does better than anybody else, he has the best face control of any player in the modern game.
Right.
He keeps it neutral to his target line longer than anybody. And what do I mean by that? I like to call the target line the train tracks. He keeps this face on the train track longer and more square than anybody else. There is no, if you fight inside rotation like I do, where the club comes this way, and then you've got to quickly close it, this is wonderful. You'll see drills like this where they'll put a golf ball here and push it down the line, right, to keep it square to the line. So Scotty, the first thing he does really well, keeps it on the train tracks longer than anybody else. And then, and I like to call this hitting zone the train station.
Oh.
Well, if that's the train tracks, this is the train station, right? So he keeps it in the train station so neutral, into the impact zone and exiting the impact zone. Neutral, neutral, neutral is the key for Scotty. Okay, we'll get into the exit momentarily. But with that face square, neutral to his path, to his target line, when he takes it up to the top, there's something else you'll notice with Scotty. How often have you seen this from the modern day player?
Pretty much every player you see.
Okay, look at Scottie Scheffler. You can go to YouTube, you can go to PGA TOUR social media handle, and right now you can find pictures of Scottie Scheffler. You can find him in super slow motion. Scottie Scheffler's like that. And why is he like that? Because he hasn't manipulated the face. Any rotation in this face is being controlled by his turn and his body.
Yeah.
He still makes a full turn. He's just not manipulating the hands. So Scotty will get it on the train track, to the sky, and up to here.
Is that why you see so much separation from his head to his club?
So much so, because it's never here, right?
No.
Very rarely. You might see it get there on some of the longer clubs, 3-wood driver, etc. But I've got a 7-iron here. I got my P770 7-iron.
Yeah.
And with the 7-iron, you're going to see a lot of this pointing to the sky. Now, this is the magic move for Scotty. Now, this is something I wouldn't recommend to most average golfers because most of our audience is fighting a cut, fighting a slice, maybe coming over the top. But from Scotty's standpoint, he gets it here, and all the modern day teachings are this, right? How long have you, I got to shallow it out. How often you hear, I got to shallow it out?
Yeah.
Joaquin Neiman's a perfect example.
Sergio.
It goes from here, and it lays off
or
this
John
way.
Rahm even too,
right, into the squatting. Okay. Scotty, not so much. Scotty to the top, and instead of this monster layoff into the this underneath the plane, Scotty's hands, 80% of the time, because he hits so many cuts, they work a little this way. They work a little, which in modern golf we would call over the top, which we would warn people, never get over the top. But if you want to hit cuts and fades as often as you want and swing as hard as you want, this creates so much width and so much freedom. And the fact that he is not manipulating, rotating the face, he knows he's going to deliver it square. This is so much freedom for Scotty. It allows him to swing as hard as he wants. And if he wants to hit a little draw, you'll see this more with driver and longer clubs again as well. Obviously the shorter, more upright clubs, not as much. You'll see a slight little loop. So if this here is a ribbon at the top, if you want to hit draw, he would ribbon it inside, and cut, you would ribbon it outside. But it's that simple. And then it gets delivered back into the train station and stays on the track. Now,
and starts where he was, square.
Right back into that neutral. And keep in mind, he is not, because he has not loaded and created all these extra angles, there's no timing for him to, when do I release it? Where's the lag? It's not. It's, in a way, it's like a larger version of how Steve Stricker would swing like a gap wedge or a pitching wedge.
Because you watch him and like that's like, Steve Stricker's like that.
This is like an oversized version of that. Finally, we want to talk about his footwork.
Of course.
All right, so I'm not trying to suggest everybody out there go out there and give me a little Denny Terrio 1983 dance fever. Okay, a little Macarena. Okay, that's not what I'm saying. But you know what the footwork is allowing him to do? All I hear now from the modern day teacher is this piston move. Minwoo Lee, for example, right? Right? And you want to feel this hip, your lead hip, drive into the wall on the way down. I'm not suggesting for a second that your body doesn't need to turn and your lower half doesn't need to work cohesively with everything. I'm not suggesting that. What I am suggesting is the modern game, a lot of teachers have gone down this well where they like to tell their students, or they give the impression that there's no lateral movement in the golf swing. There's not a feeling of the weight moving to your back and moving to your front. There's lateral movement all over the place. And the #1 player in the world, and the one that is leading in all the ball striking categories, has more lateral movement than anybody else on the planet.
It's crazy.
So think about that. We're teaching people not to move laterally, yet the best ball striker on the planet moves more lateral than anybody else. And that footwork allows him, because it's so free off the ground, it allows him to, in a way, slide onto his front side. I call it right, being a lefty. So anybody watching this video in America, I apologize for anyone watching this in America. Lefty sliding to his right. Let's use front and back instead. So he slides to his front, and that movement to the right, that lateral movement, allows him to stop the rotation and keep it on the train track longer.
Now, we should say stay tuned to an upcoming episode of Golf Talk Canada where we will try the Scheffler slide in action.
You're going to try this.
I'm going to try
I'm not going to try
That was the royal we.
All right, all right.
Okay,
we'll switch roles for that.
I like that,
Okay. Final piece of this puzzle is the exit.
Okay.
Even though you've already made contact, even though the ball's gone, it's left its target, we're doing, we've kind of committed to everything. You've got to feel it to the finish.
Totally.
Right? You got to stick the finish. You got to feel it to the finish. And this is for all our Canadian, fans of Golf Talk Canada, everybody who loves to go down the wormhole. Mo Norman. Bob, the minute I started talking about this, Bob instantly stood up and went, Mo Norman. Weeks he got, heard that down the line, and he went, Mo. If you watch Mo was down this line longer than anybody in history. Square that target. And he was so down that line through impact to his finish that his hands were up here. Now, Scotty doesn't get all the way there.
But his finish is high, though.
It's high, and it's high, and I like to think of this. My trail arm is a paintbrush. If I paint it on the way down, I get down on top of it, so forget early extension, and I paint that train track as long as I can. And then when you paint it as long as you can, there's a million photos of Scotty Scheffler's finish like that. And then, of course, he's fully extended. And now from here, it's going to turn over. Right? So
it's almost like throwing a ball underhand.
That's it.
Sort of
that's
like
a great image and a great feeling. It's like throwing that ball underhanded. And think about it. If you were going to throw a ball underhanded down that train track, would you do this to throw it? Would you like load your wrist? No, you would do that. You take it here and that's all you do, right?
Simple.
So let me see if I can actually do one for you in slow-mo here.
Love it.
Okay? So it's that, and
Yep.
down that line as long as possible.
Yep.
I've been working on this now for about 3 weeks.
Now, I will also say that you sent me a text saying that you have discovered the secret to golf. And you just hit that shot. We're coming off a day where Mark went bogey free at Hamilton Golf and Country Club, 66.
Yes.
And I mean, that looked pretty solid there. It
was
looked
good.
simple,
Caught
too.
it. Yeah, so the simplicity of it, standing here talking for 10 minutes and not hitting a ball. And, you know, I didn't get all the way down to the bottom, 50 years old, the back. So it was, you know, a little picky. But as far as ball flight, that was a 2-yard fade directly at my target. Like it never, even your misses are better. If I once I loosen up here, let's see if I can get down to the ball. The key here is watch the lack of load and watch how long we stay on the path here.
Yeah, solid again.
Okay, that's on exactly. I mean, those two golf balls are 10 feet apart.
Yeah.
175 yards, 180 yards out. I mean, the proof's been in the pudding for me.
Yeah.
I'm not going to work on his footwork.
No.
I'm not athletic or talented enough to even consider that.
Well, that's what you think.
You know, what I take from this, and I think what a lot of people in our audience can take from this, watch the rotation of your club face.
Yeah.
If you can quiet the rotation of your club face, you're going to be a better ball striker. Don't be afraid to have some lateral movement. If you get on the outside of your feet, you're now swaying. Don't get on the outside of your feet. Don't get outside your box. Don't get outside the train station. Stay in the train station. And the club face is really controlled in here, with your chest. If you're turning and you haven't manipulated your hands, then that club should be able to be delivered right back as you turn and go through. Kind of like that stuck it in there.
It's kind of like it's in your sternum, I guess, right?
So I've been doing
back.
a bunch of drills
where
I take a club in my left hand and choke down on it and just hit balls down the line this way.
Right.
Like this to get that feeling. I've been doing drills where I get to the top and I go, okay, cut. And I manipulate hands this way to feel cut. Draw. Manipulate hands this way to feel draw. These are all things we can do. We're never going to be Scotty Scheffler.
No.
But if you can stay more quiet with the hands and keep this club on the track longer through the impact zone, I guarantee you're going to hit it better more often. Do you want to try one? You've never done this.
I've never done it.
Okay, so we're gonna start by saying that I was going to go stand in your position and totally forgot that you're right-handed.
Now, I'm also using the P7 TW blade here.
Yes,
too,
the first time with that.
Which is the same one Scotty has.
Okay.
Which is the same iron that Scotty uses. So, okay.
Okay, so let's just talk about some sensations before you pull the trigger.
Yeah.
So.
Because you know my game. I'm a very handsy player.
Right. So what I
Not as handsy as I've been in the past.
All right. So that's your train track. My P770 is your train track.
Okay.
So what we're going to do,
Yep.
we're going to keep it, see how you're trying to open that face?
Yeah, always.
We're going to keep this face square to that train track longer. The club's going to feel like it's a little outside your hands. From there, that's enough.
Wow.
With a 9-iron, that's enough. Right back.
And then I turn?
Keep down through. You feeling that?
Yeah.
All right.
Totally different sensation.
Totally different sensation.
So it's
there, that's enough. That's enough.
Now, would you recommend I start just swinging like that or hitting balls?
I like the right-handed drill to start. Watch the road. There you go. So it's going to feel, Scully. Here's a sensation the first time you do this.
Yeah.
It's going to feel like the club's moving outside on the way back.
Yeah.
It's not. It's down the line. And eventually you're going to turn and you're going to get onto your natural arc.
Right.
Odds are you've been rotating too much to the inside to begin with.
Always.
So do me a favor. And you can do stuff like this. I'll do this. I'll take a tee, piece of dirt.
Yeah. And just get
there you go. So give me your takeaway over that. Good. See, that's good. And now deliver it right down that line. And here's the thing I love about this. We've lost focus in the golf world of where the target is.
Yeah.
Like, we never talk about the target. If that club is moving at your target with a square face,
it's got to go straight.
Why wouldn't it be going at your target more
Yeah.
often? We talk about closing the door and you'll see Justin Rose swinging this way. Alex Noren, you mentioned.
Well, their pre-shot routines, it's this.
Right, and
It's
they're looking for sensations, and I get what they're trying to do. Maybe
Right.
they're fighting a miss of some
Yeah,
kind.
yeah.
I get that. I'm not saying they're doing it wrong. Who am I to say they're doing it wrong? What I'm saying is this is what the best player in the world's doing.
Right.
The best player
so
in the
why
world.
not do it?
Best player in the world is not doing that.
Yeah.
Best player in the world is keeping it on the track longer than anybody else, and that includes towards his target at the end, longer than anybody else.
Okay. So let's say our target, we're going over there. That's sort of that.
Towards that checkered flag in the
Checkered
distance.
flag. Okay. Let's see what we got.
Takeaway was really good.
That's right at that flag.
And you're right on target. How did that feel?
It just felt simple.
Yeah.
It felt like I was taking it outside.
Does feel outside,
But
right?
because you know my swing, I'm one of these. I
Sure.
sort of take it out and then back
and
and
your
then
hands
this.
want to cock immediately.
Yes.
And load. And don't get me wrong, you're not going to hit it as far until you're so confident that you're
Yeah.
going to hit it great. So here's the thing, and I guess really, Scully, it's the final piece of the puzzle in this
Yeah.
entire experiment, right? Final piece of the puzzle in this entire experiment is this. Out of the gates, you're likely not going to hit it as far. You're going to be a half a club shorter with the irons and maybe even 10 yards shorter with the driver because you're losing that anchor, that leverage that you get with the full cock of the hands, this and that. It comes back immediately though. It comes back when you get confident with this move that you know the club head's being delivered
Right.
perfect
In the right
or
spot.
in the right spot. So what ends up happening is you end up being able to swing harder at it because you know the club face is in the right spot. If I told you at the start of a round, Scully, you're going to be hit this in the middle of the face and on your target line all day, you're going to swing like a maniac. It's only when you're swinging bad you get tentative, you try to steer it, you try to do these things, right?
Thinking.
So what I noticed with driver was my distance came back in about the third week of doing this. I'm about 3 weeks into it, so it's only recently. Yesterday we played at Hamilton.
We did.
And my distance was back,
66.
right? So what I noticed, Gulls, is that I've gotten so confident with this move, I've gotten so aggressive with my trail arm of slapping this way,
Yeah.
that I have gotten so aggressive with that side of my body, which used to be a weak side of my body.
Right.
You and I have done some stack work,
Yeah.
and you get to know where your weaknesses are.
Yeah.
That this side of my body has gone from being a weakness to a strength.
Wow.
Because I actually want to just, again, if I take that paintbrush and paint that strip, if I feel or know that I'm on that strip, I will paint it aggressively,
Wow.
not tentatively.
Wow.
That's a lot.
That's a lot,
That's a
but
lot.
those are some tricks to the trade that, hey, if it works for the world number one, Scotty Scheffler, it can certainly
And
work
I would
for
say
you.
this, if you want to hit up us at Golf Talk Canada on any social media handle or at Z-Man Golf,
Yep.
you got questions, ideas pop in your head, you want to try this, by all means, just fire us on social media. We'll get back to you guys.